Hi everyone, so this is my second class of hypnobirthing video that I'm going to do for you guys. So last week when I had my class, before we left, we had to do an activity or homework, and the homework based it off what happened at our birth. So when we were born, what did our mothers go through? What and this included your partner as well. What ways you have found that you think that are going to be able to help you deal with fear during labor and delivery, and what you've heard about birth, good and bad, and what you know about birth, and then what your ideal birth is. So they didn't want to know like your birth plan, they just kind of wanted to know like basic things about what you wanted. You guys already know my birth plan for like what I'm going to give the hospital. It was lengthy. I told you pretty much everything that you could possibly know. So for this, all I did was kind of point certain words and descriptive words of what I want to the environment and all that kind of be. So I said that I wanted it to be gentle, relaxing, natural, beautiful, empowering, exciting, drug-free, confidence in my ability, and I want it to be intimate. And in that way, I mean, I just want it to be very relaxing and calm. Of course, I've already put relaxing. I just want it to be an experience that me and my husband can go through, and there's not an entire medical staff, especially if I'm like everything's fine with the baby and myself. I don't really want a whole bunch of people doing things to me and prying and poking and talking loud. And I mean, if you've watched my birth plan video, you already know my idea of an ideal birth. So that's kind of what I said, and the good and the bad of what I have heard. Of course, always it's the worst pain you'll ever go through. I tend to find that people want to tell you the really bad experiences, and I think that's in a life thing anyways. Like your relationships, when you're dating someone, your friends always tend to hear a lot of the bad things that they do rather than the good things. So I have found that when I tell people what I want to do, I immediately get a bad reaction. When I tell people I'm going to be using hypnobirthing and I'm going to be doing natural labor, or as they call it in the book, pure birth, you know, they think I'm crazy, and then they think they have the right to tell me how horrible the pain is and that I won't be able to handle it. In terms of that kind of stuff, like people being nasty or whatever, I've been just trying to like kind of put it out of my mind, because a lot of this hypnobirthing thing and just preparing yourself for this has a lot to do with, if you have negative thoughts, negative actions will pretty much happen. So in doing that, of course, I know the good things about birth and labor and all that, and that it's the best experience you'll ever go through. You'll never experience anything that, to me, anything more rewarding, especially for the birthing mother. It's obviously definitely beautiful. It can be very challenging, but it can be very rewarding. I think it's rewarding regardless, because in the end, what do you have? You have a beautiful baby that you have been nurturing and taking care of for 9 months inside of you, and now you finally get to actually meet them. That makes me choked up just thinking about it. Anyways, so in this class, we did a lot of breathing techniques, relaxation techniques, and she talked more about the hypnobirthing process and all that kind of stuff. So the first activity that we did was the sleep and slow breathing. So that consisted of 2 different types of breathing. The sleep breathing is pretty much diaphragmic breathing, so this is what you do when you sleep. So when you breathe in, you extend your belly. So instead of, like most people, we just kind of breathe with like our chest, like we don't really use, you know, this part of our body. Like we do, but we don't use it as much in our daily routine. So that was really cool, because I felt like that really made me aware of my breathing and where to focus things. So she would say to you, she would read like a script kind of. She'd tell you like relax and do this, this, and this, and you know, inhale. When you inhale, fill your belly. Like think of it filling inside of your uterus. So these visualizations were really good, because I can actually, like when I was doing it, I could feel my belly expanding, and it really was just my diaphragm pushing out And then when I would exhale, I would feel it kind of going back, but very slowly and nicely, and no tense. And that's kind of what she wants you to do in this type of breathing. Was you inhale for 1 to 3 count, or 3 counts, and then you exhale for 6 counts, or whatever you can do until you can't push out any more air. And then the next one was slow breathing, and that was you breathe in as much as you breathe out, and that's for more. And the really cool thing about these two things is that the sleep breathing is for early stages and between each surge. And from now on, I'm going to refer to contractions as surges. So when I say I'm a surge, it's a contraction, and I will explain that in my, probably in the next video, what all this means. So anyways, when you, in between surges, the sleep breathing and the early active stage of labor is when you can do that type of breathing. And then the slow breathing, you can do that between the active stage of labor, and it'll help you be able to relax while you're having those surges. So this was awesome. When I did the activities at home with the CDs, where you go into a deep relaxation and someone's kind of talking to you through the whole thing, I felt myself feeling very dizzy and almost sleepy. This actually just completely relaxed me. So I'm very happy that I wasn't feeling the same thing. I was kind of worried that I was actually going to feel the same like dizziness, but I didn't at all, and it really felt nice to like kind of just relax. So there's a whole script and everything that you do this with. Of course, your birth companion can help you with this. Regardless if you have 1 or 2, you can have multiple people help you. And I think in these type of things, you don't have to go right by the script. You can kind of like mold it to work for you, which I found was really good too. So we did that, and then we did a relaxation script. Now this is when it got really funny. Me and my husband are pretty giddy people, and I don't know what it was, but when she told me that when she told us that we had to, he was going to take this, as you can see, is a full page, like almost 2 pages of script that you have to talk and go through. And he looked at me and said, "We're not actually going to do this in front of everybody, are we?" And I was like, no, there's no way. So of course you didn't have to do it in front of anybody, like you weren't like the center of attention, but she put music on, and then 8 couples had to do the script. Well, imagine if you're sitting, it's like sitting in an auditorium and listening to like tons of people talking, and your husband's trying to talk to you. Well, you can hear everything going on. So he says to me, "There's no way I'm going to be able to get through this with a straight face." Well, that pretty much like ruined it from then on, because when he said, "I'm probably going to laugh," I was like, I'm probably going to laugh too. So he starts going, and I sit back and I'm like, we don't have to do this. Like, let's just talk about how we're going to break this down so that we can do it. And he's like, "No, I don't want the instructor to get mad. Just do it with me." So I close my eyes and I look at everybody around me, and everyone's doing it right. So I close my eyes, just lay there, and I could hear him talking, and then all of a sudden he says something, and I just like burst out laughing. Like for about 10 minutes, and we had to do this project for like 20 minutes. I actually laughed a full 10 minutes, and I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I know people heard me. So he started to read through it, and we just couldn't do it. And he would just keep reading and laugh and just keep reading and laugh. And I was like laughing the whole time. And sometimes I would be like holding up the piece of paper over my face and be like, shut up, just stop talking. You're going to continue to make me laugh. And no one else in the room was doing this. And I felt so stupid, because if most of you know, I'm 29 and I don't ever feel my age. So there's a lot of YouTube mommies out there that are like way younger than me, like 24, 25. And I sometimes watch you guys and I'm like, whoa, I'm really immature for my age. But whatever. I don't think we need to be too serious anyways. But these women are probably in their mid to late 30s, and they were not like laughing at all. And I was thinking, oh my God, they must think I'm so immature right now. Like, this is terrible. So, but no one ever said anything, even after my husband laughed and said, like, I'm really sorry if anybody heard us like laughing. Like, I don't know, we just got like the giggles or whatever. So he was reading it, and there's a section in here that you have to take some of the affirmations that I have picked on the sheet that she gave us for him to say. So there's like lots. There's 4 pages of stuff, and he has to say one of them. Like he'll say something like, I'm going to read to you some affirmations, and I want you to take your time and allow yourself to think of these and let these affirmations sink into your subconscious, which is awesome, right? Well, the first thing my husband says to me is, my body is made for birthing. It's supposed to be my body, so he should have said, your body is made for birthing. And he said my body, which meant his body. So I immediately thought of him laying there giving birth to a baby. And that was it. Like after that happened, I was like, he actually asked me to leave. He's like, leave, go outside, because if you continue to laugh, I'm just going to continue to laugh. And I can usually keep my laugh like quiet, just like laugh, like even if I'm laughing really hard, I can still kind of like, I just move my body a lot, but I can like usually keep quiet. He laughed the entire time, like out loud, and I was just like, oh my God. So we got through it as much as we can. Of course we have to practice more, and we have to take things out of this. We don't have to use everything, and you know, she said like you don't have to use it all, so that was good. So the last thing that we did was another deep breathing practice thing that we do, and it's something that your birth partner does with you. You didn't have to do this together, you just have to watch her do it, and it's more of like the drop arm thing. If you guys have ever seen that, like a hypnotist will stand next to you and tell you like, I'm going to drop your hand and you're going to fall deeper into relaxation, and they do it 2 more times and you're supposed to get deeper and deeper. And she wants you to use this type of stuff to be able to get into a state of relaxation if you're having a hard time. So if I'm going through a surge and I look like I'm in distress, I have like I'm kind of squinting my eyes, or I'm moving a lot, and I look like I'm in a lot of discomfort. That's a sign to my husband and my friend that, okay, she isn't using these relaxation techniques. Maybe she's lost concentration. We have to get her back into it. So this kind of like helps that. So she said you can use any technique with touch. You know, you could squeeze their shoulder, you could kind of put pressure on the back of their neck and slowly release it, so they know that every time you do that they have to go back into this deepening, which I thought was really helpful too, because sometimes when you're stressed out, you kind of need that person to tell you like, relax, calm down, this isn't the end of the world, you know, you're gonna be okay, type of thing. So this class was informative, it was good. I'm excited for the next one. We only have 3 more to go, so that's really awesome. That's pretty much it. I guess I will see you guys. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but I will update you all on everything on Friday. And yeah, so have a good day and happy hypnobirthing.